Russian long-range bombers stationed near the Norwegian border are causing concern these days. No one knows the purpose of their mission. It's been eerily quiet for months in the far north, on the shores of the Barents Sea. Some say it's like the calm before the storm. The northernmost NATO observation post is located on a mountain. Russia is on the other side. This is the start of a border that ends thousands of kilometers to the south in Turkey. Not far away, Elisa Steinsland is looking east. She's sitting in a remote watchtower on Vagatem Lake. Private Steinsland is a Norwegian Army volunteer. The border runs straight through the lake, and despite the tense situation, occasionally someone strays onto the wrong side, especially in summer.
Then there's lots going on here. Local fishermen, people transporting stuff on the water, boats filled with vacationers. Then in winter it freezes and there's a road for snowmobiles. And we really have to watch out so that no one gets lost.
Steinsland is one of 4 soldiers who are doing 2-week shifts here. Despite the stress, they keep to their routines. Men and women have worked side by side for years. Because Norway's army is short of personnel, they'll be implementing compulsory military service for women too next year.
I've never really heard stupid macho comments here. And if I did, I'd have a good comeback ready. Everyone has to empty the dishwasher. Everyone has to pitch in.
They're accustomed to being this close to the border. Right now, they have no contact with the Russian troops on the other side.
I'm more interested in Russia now. Before, Russia was far away, and now I can see it. Even if we don't have any contact with them. I think the culture is really exciting.
It's time to get up here at the barracks of the Border Battalion in Kirkenes. 4 conscripts and 2 soldiers live together here in one room. It's everyday Norwegian Army life. The pin-ups don't seem to bother anyone. It's early in the morning and not everyone's quite awake yet. Katrina Mathisen says it's just fine that there'll soon be more women in the barracks. She says mixed gender teams work better, even in the Army.
Everyone should do military service. You learn discipline and new routines to get up early and keep your act together.
Katrina is a military police officer. She and her colleagues monitor Army vehicles to see whether they have the right documents. She also keeps track of civilians who are moving around in the military security zone on the Russian frontier.
No problems really. We're respected. We have beats in town and sometimes the soldiers get drunk at the weekends. Then they tend to say stupid things, but we know what we should take seriously and what not.
The Norwegian border troops used to meet regularly with their Russian counterparts, for example, to play soccer. But since the crisis in Ukraine, they don't have these get-togethers anymore. The military command has ordered contact kept to a minimum. Many soldiers regret that. So the Russian town of Nikel, on the other side of the border, may as well be hundreds of miles away, even though the Norwegians can see chimneys and apartment blocks from their posts. After guard duty in the tower, Elisa goes on patrol with a group of soldiers. They head to the border to Vagatem Lake. She says this is the best part of the job, except in winter, when they have to do survival training in the ice-cold water.
It's a real kick for me. I like the cold water, especially after a sauna. But here it's about survival training. We've got to get out of the water and get into dry clothes right away.
The soldiers start a fire to show the people on the other side of the border that they're in position. But they don't know if anyone actually sees the flames. NATO demonstrates its presence as well, at an altitude of 10,000 meters. When the Russians are on the move in international airspace, NATO jets scramble to find out what's going on.